this right off the dome, but here's the biggest thing that I see that busy moms make a huge mistake when it comes to regaining and losing the same 10 to 15 pounds. And when someone comes to me and they say, hey, Clayton, like, I just can't seem to stay consistent over an extended time period. And let me know if you guys watching this in the comments resonate with that. Like, you just can't stay consistent over an extended time period. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're like, you know what? I've tried everything. I've tried Weight Watchers. I've tried Beachbody. I've tried keto. I've tried carnivore. Nothing really just seems to be working for me because I lose the weight consistently for, couple weeks. I stay really consistent, and then when it's over, I kind of just go back to my old habits, my old thought patterns, and I just kind of repeat this same cycle of regaining and losing the same 10 to 15 pounds over and over and over again. And most people spend this, like, most people stay in this cycle their entire lives. And it's really sad because most people have the ability to actually make a change and keep one at the same time. And you have to ask yourself, like, why do you keep regaining and losing the same 10 to 15 pounds over and over again? And the chances are, like, and this is just me being real, is like, you don't have something structured to follow. You don't. You don't have something structured to follow and someone to actually guide you through this process to, like, make adjustments and modifications along the way. So I'm going to give you guys some tactical strategies here of, like, how you guys can actually make those adjustments along the way to ensure that you guys always do see progress when it comes to this side of the journey. Because if you're just, like, plummet your calories and you start super low, you see the results, and then you just regain it back really quickly, that's where it can get really complicated because your energy levels get low, you don't go out to social events, you don't really enjoy your life at the same time. So that's why it's really important that you do start your calories a little bit higher when you are starting a cut, when you are starting to, lose some fat, and then you slowly taper it down along the way on your journey. That way, you can actually ensure that it's a sustainable change for yourself and that you aren't starving yourself at the same time. So let's say that you want to lose 10 pounds. So let's say you want to lose 10 to 15 pounds, right? You want to lose 10 to 20 pounds. And you are starting your calories at, this is just me playing a hypothetical situation. You're starting your calories at 1,800 calories per se, right? You're starting your calories at 1,800 calories. Now, a lot of you watching this might be like, well, that's really high. That's more than I consume. It's really difficult for me to even get in 1,800 calories. And I understand that. If you've been consuming 1,100 calories to 1,000 calories to 1,200 calories, 800 calories to 1,200 calories, you've been skipping meals consistently, it is going to be difficult for you to reach that mark at first. But there's a reason that you've had such low energy levels and that you haven't sped up your metabolism, is because you aren't consuming the right amount of food on a weekly basis. So say that you were to start your calories off at 1,800 calories, say like that's your maintenance, and you stay there. You start there and you actually stay there for a week or two, and you're going to see some progress staying at your maintenance calories because you're actually giving your body the fuel necessary for it to work for you. It's not going to be as stressed. Your pumps in the gym are going to be better. You're going to feel stronger. You're going to be able to lift more weights. You're going to have a lot more energy that way compared to starting at an extremely low calorie mark. You're just basically plummeting your metabolism and you're just hating your life at the same time because you just aren't staying to something that is consistent for yourself, right? So when you start at this maintenance, when you start at this maintenance level, and when you do kind of plateau and you do level out, that's when you make a slight change to what your macros, to what your calories are. So that's where it's like, hey, if you have 100 and say you have all laid out, you have to eat 200 grams of carbs, you have to eat 60 grams of fat, 55 grams of fat, then you just make small adjustments and smaller bumps along the way to ensure that you're always seeing progress, right? So it's like you would drop your carbs by like 10 grams, and then you would drop your fat by like 5 grams, and then you would stay there for another couple weeks because you're going to make progress with those small adjustments. But what do most people do? Most people just plummet their calories so that way they can see the results in a short time period. But that's what's kept you stuck at losing the same 10 to 15 pounds over and over again, is because you keep crash dieting and you keep like depriving yourself of your favorite foods. And it doesn't have to be like that. It truly doesn't have to, which I know can be very frustrating, right? When you've been at the same weight, for an extended time period and you don't see any changes. That's why it's very, very important that you do start your calories a little bit higher and then you slowly taper them down along the way, so that way you aren't just starting off in this massive deficit like most people do, and then they just starve themselves, which just isn't a sustainable formula. So if you guys do want like a video that can break all this down for you, like I'm currently filming for my YouTube right now, like I have a video on my YouTube channel that breaks all of this down and talks about, you know, specifically what to do. Is there an app to track all my food? MyFitnessPal is the app that we use for all of our members, but you also have to realize too, like one of the main reasons that you keep regaining and losing the same 10 to 15 pounds is that you just aren't following something that's sustainable for yourself. If you are consistently like trying to kill yourself in the gym by working out 7 days a week for hours at a time, and then you're trying to just be perfect with your nutrition 24/7, like that isn't a sustainable method for you to follow. It's not. That's why 90% of our members work out 3 times a week and they still enjoy foods that they love. And that's what allows our members to see the success that they've had, is because they're able to stay consistent over an extended time period. Because I would much rather have someone work out 3 times a week over a 6-month time period compared to them going 7 days a week for 3 weeks on at a time, then they're off for 3 weeks, and they're back on for 3 weeks, because that's just going to yield a lot more consistent results. Because guess what? It's a lot more sustainable for yourself. It allows you to stay a lot more consistent with something. And sometimes less is more, because you might be thinking to yourself, well, 3 days a week, that's not enough for me to see results. If you have the right program in place and you are training efficiently and you are training the right way, it is 1000% enough for you to see results. It is 100%, because I would rather have someone do that, like I said, and be training the right way and have the right, you know, methodology and have the right process behind things, so that way they can actually lose fat. So this is what I want you guys to do. You know, like if I had one thing to like give you guys a takeaway from this training, it would be like, don't just crash diet. Truly don't. Don't just actually crash diet. Actually follow something that is sustainable for yourself, and actually do something that is going to allow you to stay consistent. And you might be thinking, well, how do I find something that allows me to stay a lot more consistent for myself? You can literally go to my page, like on my YouTube channel. Like I have a video that lays all this out of how to create your own calories for yourself, how to create your own macros for yourself, and then start there, and then slowly taper down like your calories and your macros. Like bump your carbs down by 10 grams, you know, and then follow that for a week or two and see how your results go. Then drop your fats down by a couple grams. Follow that for a week or two, see how your results go. And as you continue to do that, you're gonna see more results that way, compared to just starving yourself and eating 1,000 calories a day, because that just isn't sustainable. The same thing with the gym. If you guys don't have a gym routine to follow, look on my YouTube channel. It's like I have a full routine that you guys can follow that will allow you to stay consistent over an extended time period, and that you could do from the gym or you could do at home. So implement these strategies, guys. Like I hope this helps. This is something that I see a lot. It's usually like, you know, regaining and losing the same 10 to 15 pounds comes from a lot of crash dieting and not following something that is, you know, sustainable for yourself. And you also have to realize too, like this whole journey, this whole process, like if you've been struggling for 10, 15, 20 years, 5 years, you're not going to reverse all of these bad habits in a span of a week. And we live in a society that just wants everything right now. And I wish people realized that this game is a lot more than just a physical game. It's a mental game, because you have so many habits instilled and thought patterns instilled and daily routines that are instilled that you just do, like not really even thinking about. Like you're just on autopilot. And when you try and break those habits and you try and break those thought patterns and those beliefs, like you're gonna face mental resistance. But most people look at that mental resistance as a bad thing, and they think that they're doing something wrong. But the reality is like if you are facing that, like if you are facing that resistance week in, week out mentally, like that means that you're doing something right, and that you need to look at that in that perspective, in that frame, compared to thinking that something is wrong with you. Because that's literally what most people do, is they think, oh, something's wrong with me because I'm more tired, I'm a little bit more hungry than normal. Like that is totally normal. It is. Like whenever you're doing something, you can implement some other strategies, like, you know, some lettuce in your meal, some more veggies. Obviously, if you're not eating enough protein on a day-to-day basis, that's probably another reason why you're really, really hungry. And most moms in general are not eating at least 100 grams of protein a day. And if they do, they try and do it through Premier Protein shakes, just more shakes, snacks, when it's like you need to be doing this through animal protein sources. Because that's like the quality of your food choices matter, and that's what's ultimately going to allow you to like finally get toned and actually lose 15 pounds and keep it off for good. So that way you don't have to repeat this cycle over and over again. So I hope this video helped, guys. I'm going to start uploading on YouTube 5 times a week. I'm going to start going live 5 times a week. It's a commitment that I'm going to make to you guys, so that way you guys can digest a lot more actionable value. It's very difficult sometimes for me on YouTube or on Instagram to deliver everything I want to say in a 15 to 30 second video, because that's just what Instagram is. It's a very short form content based platform. So I hope this video helped, guys. If you guys are interested in learning more about my one-to-one coaching program, the Mom Squad, we've helped over 505 moms get toned. You can literally just DM me the word Mom Squad on Instagram at c.snydercoaching, and we can talk more about how we can help you out. I hope you guys all have the best day of your entire freaking life. And I hope that your President's Day is going incredible.